Hey, today's topic I want to be the book of Job. I've been wanting to do a video on it for a while just because I think it's cool and really an amazing book considering it's been dated back as 1500 BC. It's pretty ancient. So the mere things that are in this book, I'm going to try to get my point across by saying there's no way the things written in this book could have been known then. And it's really undisputable. But yeah, the book of Job, and I'll just pull a couple things out from it. This section where he ends up asking Job like 80 something questions, I forget the exact number, and says, you can answer any of these, basically, then I'm not God. Basically calling Job out, saying, okay, tell me this, tell me that. So was you there when I laid the foundations of the earth, and well, some of these questions really stand out because there's no way in that time period could anybody but God, the creator of this earth, know at that time. For instance, go with well, Job 26. And it hungeth the earth upon nothing. Like it's no big deal. Now we know that the earth is sitting out there in space, hanging on nothing. It's not like it's hanging up on a coat rack or something, Yeah, it's being pulled by gravity and who knows what else. Science hasn't figured space, but they're never going to. They know there's stuff there that, like what they call black mass and all. I'm not gonna try to get into it because I don't understand it, and I don't. It is what it is. I think there's some things we're just like, hey, figure this out, haha. Let's go with Job 38:16. Says, hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the death? Did you know it was like the almost mid-1900s, we had any type of capability to go down to the depths of the sea to where we actually discovered that there were springs in the ocean at the bottom of the sea, where at 1500 BC, there's no possible way whatsoever that man could go to the depths of the sea and know that there's springs down there. Impossible. And you want to go to that logic, the Vatican sit there and wrote it, and they put that. Oh, really? Because the King James Bible, it's called King James 1611. Guess not the 1900s. Still didn't know. So close that one out the door. Ponder that for a minute. Job 38:22. Hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow? Now we know with microscopes and all that how just magnificent and awe that a snowflake. So just go look up a picture of snowflakes that have stayed intact. It's made it to the ground. There's not one of them, not one that's the same. How did 1500 BC? They didn't have microscope. They didn't have how do they know about the treasures of the snow? Only person that was the creator. 38:31. Can thou bind the sweet influence of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Can't even read my own handwriting. Okay. for those that don't know, I'll just take this out Wikipedia because they actually have some good information here for once. You know, it's actually true. But they try to throw it in the. It says observational history. Okay, I'll go with that one. You know, it is. It says for long it's been known to be physically related group of stars rather than any chance alignment. The Reverend John Michael calculated in 1767 the probability of chance alignment of so many bright stars was only 1 in 500,000. And so correctly summarized that Pleiades and many other clusters of stars must be physically related. When studies were first stars' proper motions, it was found that they were all moving in direction across the sky at the same rate, further demonstrating that they relate. Now, I read, canst thine the sweet influence of Pleiades. Influence meaning, this one means they're influenced by the gravity, whatever is holding this cluster of stars together. They're bound and moving together. You can or loosen the bands of Orion. See, Orion's stars are actually moving away from each other. As it says, and God's asking, can you do that? Like, so now I want to read this from this webpage. It says, not so scientific facts 36. This man's Roger Martin, I guess. It says, I rejected Christianity because I've closely examined its claims and found them to be unsubstantiated. Okay. And he uses this scripture right here to try to disprove this statement. Right now he's saying it's true. In this moment, what this scripture is saying is true. But he says 400 light years away in the constellation Taurus, the cluster is connected to any other, but within 250 million years, any moment in astronomical time, tidal drag will dissipate the cohesion of its stars and they will merge into the rest of the galaxy. So, he's not disputing the fact of that scripture. He's just saying with his little crystal ball that in 250 million years, they're not going to be like that no more. That's science. And it's just pretty amazing when you start reading this and actually just pick apart little things like that. And it's, like I said, it's undisputable. You cannot disprove that there's no way it's possible that these words were written down 1,500 years ago and Job could have knowledge of it without getting it directly from the Creator himself. God sent here is telling him this is how it is. And the only person who will know that is God. Period. I suggest if you've never read the book of Job, read it. It's so I'll cut it short. Go ahead and give me your thoughts and something else you'd like to hear me cover. I'm gonna throw some ideas at me because I got a few written down here, but I definitely would like to. I get stumped sometimes while I haven't made so many videos here lately on what to talk about. I feel like I don't like repeating myself, you know, and so yeah, if you guys got some ideas or questions or something it might spin an idea for you, so go ahead and shoot your comments. Alright.